when we think about phytoceramides, that is true self-care. That is doing something wonderful for yourself. And I think a lot of us need to be focused on that right now, because it's hard to take really great care of yourself when you feel cooped up, when you're under stress, when there's all this uncertainty. And that's why I think we all love the fact that Andrew had the foresight to plan to do something for all of us so that we can take better care of ourselves, and specifically our liver. And that is where the PC liver and brain benefit comes into place. It's a 60, a 180, or a 360 count. And look what's happened here. This was going to be, again, when this went to print, it was going to be a $44.90 today's special price, which is fantastic to get. Again, if you take one a day, it's a full year's supply. But Andrew decided to take another $10 off. Wow. We have that down to $34.90 with free shipping and handling. I have never seen that before. To get the 360 count for under $35, that is remarkable. 90% of the original quantity Andrew brought in is completely spoken for. So I know we're limited here as well, but this is another one. I just think it's great that you were thinking ahead for us. And I don't think any of us realized that we were going to be home this many weeks in a row, that we were going to be drinking more alcohol than we normally would plan ever to do this time of year. But it's just, you know, we're all kind of out of sync. And so we're, you know, every day is like Saturday, right? Every day is like Sunday afternoon.
And for me, every day is like Monday. I decided when this started, it's like, you know, my dad used to always say that, you know, in life, the thing we should seek, you know, isn't fame or money or things like that, but he always said, seek good responsibility. So when all of this started in January and February, I had a responsibility, and clearly, and Muriel could attest to this fact, I have clearly worked, you know, I always work hard because I love what I do, but I've worked harder now and taken on more responsibilities now than ever, because it's very important. Once we're in everyone's life, sort of helping them and supporting them with their own health goals, whatever they might be, it's times like this where my job becomes more important. So everyone at ProCaps Labs, not just me, is taking their responsibility and their duty more seriously. And PC was one of those ingredients that was just a little bit of a basic insight, paying attention that, you know, what do they say? Idle hands are the devil's helper. We'd all like to be busy. We'd all like to be outside in the world doing all the things we want to do. So I think it's only natural that, you know, a little bit of our other habits can tend to creep into our life, and we shouldn't judge ourselves. As is always said by far greater thinkers than me, we often find it easy to show compassion to others. It's times like this where we need to show a little compassion for ourselves, give us a little bit of a break. And I think PC, Phosphatidyl Choline, I try to make it ridiculously affordable, less than a dime a capsule, to give your body the most important, the single most abundant component in the liver's structure and the liver's function, and that's phosphatidyl choline. And then it's not diluted with additives. It's diluted with phosphatidyl inositol and phosphatidyl ethanolamine, so the two other critical phospholipids. So in terms of the structure of your liver, and the science on this is beyond compelling. So it's an exciting opportunity to do something incredibly, incredibly affordable. And that's what I tried with this even lower price, to make it easy for everyone to take care of ourselves while we're taking care of others and while we're trying to do the right thing.
I love what you said. Thank you for that. Because I think that does happen, you know, as you kind of fall out of good habits, you know, the gym's closed, can't get it, all the things that we're kind of doing wrong because we're, as I said, we're just out of sync. So it's nice that you kind of give us all permission to go easy on ourselves and sort of not beat ourselves up if we're not perfect. We're not doing everything perfect, and none of us are perfect anyway. But I think now more than ever, we need to kind of forgive ourselves a little bit for not always making great decisions, because this is not normal. And the new normal is going to be different, but we don't know what that's going to be yet.
And beating ourselves up never gave rise to good decisions.
Right.
So being compassionate, being forgiving of ourselves, that's what's eventually going to give rise and stimulate to our making better decisions. And it's just little decisions. And I decided to make certain decisions while this is all going on. So because for me, I'm normally traveling a lot, that it's highly disruptive. So funnily enough, being home, as I said, the two happiest people not really people, in the world are Lincoln and Marcel.
Exactly.
So that's a silver lining. I really get to enjoy them. I get to do a little bit more of different kinds of exercise. So as much as some areas of our life have to give way and might give rise to less than ideal habits, it doesn't mean that we can't adopt other positive habits. And maybe it's as simple as swallowing a capsule of Phosphatidyl Choline that we wouldn't bother before because we were really a moderate drinker. Maybe things have changed a little. We still have to take our medicines. Maybe it's an acknowledgement that we're taking those medicines. As I said before, normally when our doctor tells us that our blood pressure medicine or our type 2 diabetes medicine is important, that sentence ends with a period. Right now, with COVID-19, what I like to say is that sentence ends with an exclamation point, because it's really incumbent upon all of us to follow our doctor's instructions and make sure we're maintaining our health as best we can, because maintaining our health as best we can is an important thing to do for our immune system. So really pay careful attention to what your doctor says. Make sure you're taking all your medicines and following instructions. And if you take your medicines, then PC is an important support for your livers metabolizing and processing all those medicines.
I love it. Okay, we are going to be wrapping this up. I can't believe there's only 10 minutes left in the show. This show flew by today. It always does, but I don't know where the time went. But if you are ordering a 60, a 180, or a 360 size, we're thrilled you are. Remember, that's not $44, it's $34.90. Right. Again, I appreciate everybody's patience this afternoon. It's been extremely busy. We still have hundreds of people waiting on the phone to get through. So if you're waiting, we see you there, and we have plenty for anybody who's calling. And if